What's up, guys? Trying to catch a fish here so I can start this video. I want to show you that this bait can work. And usually the best way to show a bait can work is by catching a fish on it. Come on, guys. There we go. There we go. They heard me. They heard my plea. Come on, fishy, fishy. Come on, stay hooked. Boom, what's up, guys? That's what we're talking about. This is not Moby Dick here, but guess what? It's a fish, and now we've got an intro. So if you already liked the video, give us a thumbs up, baby. Guys, today, we're using Xcite Baits, XB1 Silent. So it's a little square bill, and it's a silent version. Now, for some of you guys going silent, who uses silent? Kevin Van Dam, ever heard of him? One of his favorite things to talk about is switching to silent square bills or any kind of crankbait when you're fishing heavily pressured water. These fish really become, they become used to hearing those rattles and stuff. You throw in a silent version, catch them off guard, catch some more fish. There we go. Oh, yeah, I'm getting whacked. There we go. There we go. That one loaded up. Oh, he hit it and then did a cartwheel. That fish, oh man, he hit it close to the boat. Look at this. So guys, when you get him hitting that close to the boat, you want to be able to give out a little line. That fish makes the run. You don't want him pulling on real heavy line. There we go. That's a better fish. We are upgrading. And that fish choked it. See that hook all the way back there? For that hook to get all the way back there, it's because that fish inhaled it. Bait went all the way in there. When I set the hook, the body of the bait came out, but that hook, there's some little things you can do to maximize your success. There's little morning patterns, there's little afternoon patterns, and I'm gonna go over that stuff. But first, let's break down this bait. All right, guys, let's talk about retrieval. Let's just start basic. Let's cast this thing out and a steady retrieve, okay? That's the baseball. If you go out and do this, you're gonna catch fish. You will hook up with fish. But now I'm gonna talk about some little nuances you wanna do, some little other things, okay? One of the things I'm doing though is I am keeping my rod tip low. That's gonna get the most depth out of this bait. That's gonna get that bait really bouncing off the rocks, and as that bait's bouncing off the rocks, it's deflecting, erratic, and that's gonna trigger strikes. The other thing is, I don't wanna point the rod towards the fish. I wanna be perpendicular like this, so that way when that fish bites the bait, the rod has some give in it, and it will allow that bait to get back in that fish's mouth, and you'll get a better hook set. So that's the positioning with the rod, but now my retrieve. Watch how I'm retrieving this, okay? Right now, that's the steady retrieve. I like burning it. If these fish are aggressive first thing in the morning, late in the evening, if you've got some active fish, if you've got some wind, you can really move this bait quick. The advantage of moving the bait quick is a couple things. First of all, you'll make those fish trigger, they react. There we go. They react. See how I made a couple casts right there with the slow retrieve, nothing? Then I sped up that retrieve. First cast, immediately got bit. The reason being is it makes those fish just wreck. They don't have time, and they are a predator. This is an aggressive fish by nature. And so if you can burn something by them and they think they're gonna miss it, they will bite it and ask questions later. The other thing that burning it does is let you cover water, okay? You guys wanna find those productive areas. And when you are reeling that really fast, you're able to stay on that trolling motor, really get down a bank for a long distance and find out where the majority of the fish are. But once you hook a fish, slow down, make more casts. And there'll be times you can catch up 20, 30 fish in just one little stretch. So don't make the mistake of staying moving fast if you're actually catching fish. So we got the cast, pause, cast, real fast retrieve, pause. And guys, watch how fast this pauses. I'm just barely pausing that bait. There we go, and got him. Got him to react on. Guys, that can be the key. These fish are down there, and it's just about finding what's gonna trigger them, what's gonna make them react. And that little pause, that little hesitation, with a fast retrieve, they feel that thing coming in the water. These fish know that bait is coming through the water from a long ways off. And so they are heightened and they know it's coming in fast. They know something's coming really fast. As it comes and it hesitates, They don't even think about it. Bam, they blitz it. Oh, wow. That one hit it right up against the shore. Woo-hoo. I don't know if he's a little bit bigger or who he jumped. That fish seemed a little bit bigger than the ones we've been getting here. He hit it hard. I wasn't sure if he was just an aggressive bass or he has a little more weight to him. But I think he is both. He is a bigger, more, oh, he's barely hooked too. Whoa, come on. Yes, there we go. Oh, now that fish has been eating. He is not long, but watch how stout this fish is. He looks like a little football. Barely hooked him because we're reeling in fast, but he was up shallow. Now that's another key, you guys. You want to be paying attention where you get these bites. That fish was tight to the bank, so I'm going to make a lot more casts tight to the bank because these fish were actually, the fish I've been catching, been out a little bit farther, 10, 15 feet off the water where there's, off the bank where there's a little more break. But that one was right up in there, and look at the belly on that thing. That's telling me something. I'm gonna make some more casts up shallow, see if we can't exploit this a little bit more. Drag is loosened up right there. I forgot to tighten the drag. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We are smoking them right now. This is the bite you want to be in, because we are reeling this bait right in the bite we want to be in, because we are ripping this bait. I mean, we're reeling really fast. We're able to make a lot of casts to find where those fish are. And when this bait goes by these fish, man, they are just smoking it. Come on. We are in the juice right now. Hot spot. Hot spot. Come on, fishy. There we go. There we go. Woo-hoo! We are in the juice right now. This is the spot. We have found some productive water, man. These fish are feeding. This is a, oh, I got two fish. Two fish on, are you kidding me? Baby, you gotta tell me that ain't cool. Holy cow, one fish just jumped off, but the bigger one is still on. Guys, I have never recorded that, and I'm pumped. Yes, we are in a very productive area right now, and that leads us into our next segment, because let's talk about location. I break down this time of the year into 3 categories. Low light, mid-afternoon, so I chase hard shadows when those fish are sluggish, and then wind. So let's break down those 3 categories right now in location. Dude, I can't believe we just got that on camera. All right, guys, and once that sun gets high, you know, that natural shade goes away, then you can look for hard shade lines, like this dock right here. Look at this angle we have. Throw this bait all the way down the shade line and just burn it through. During this afternoon, a lot of people would think these fish are slowing down, they're sluggish, and that's true. But the reality is, so then if you know they're gonna be in the shade right here, and you burn this bait through, you can snap them out. You can really wake them up real quick, trigger them to make that commitment to the bait, and you can get these fish biting again. See if I can get one going. Let's go, come on, babe. Oh, there we go, there we go. Uh-oh, he's gonna take me around. Woohoo! Ho, ho, ho. Sometimes it can get a little tough catching fish around the docks, but ain't nothing wrong with that. And that, my friends, is a mid-afternoon crankbait fish in the shade. But we want to just keep this bait right in the shade right here. Look how fast I'm reeling. I really want to get these fish to react fast. Oh, there we go, there we go. Oh, look at, holy cow. I'm gonna loosen up this line here. Oh man, he's trying to get in that wood. So when you get bit real close, that's a short strike right there, that fish still needs to be worn out a little bit. Oh, he's hooked on top of the head there. So he must have just knocked the front of the bait and got hooked right in the forehead. But that is how much you can trigger these strikes here in the afternoon. Oh no, he might have the hook in his mouth here. Look at that. Wow, that is a fat little fish. Looks like a football with a little tail on it. It's a round, plump, healthy fish. Guys, we're catching lunchtime bass now because we're targeting the shade. You can really have different types of shade. You can really have different types of shade. You know, we're targeting these docks, but you can find other kinds of shade as well, whether it's from tree lines, whether it's real steep bluffs. You know, if you got those little narrows and stuff, you got steep rock walls, that'll cast shade. There'll usually be shade on one side or the other. Anywhere you can find those hard shade lines during the day, that's where those fish are gonna hang out. They're not gonna be actively looking to feed most of the time, but if you burn a square bill through there, give it some little pauses and stuff, you're gonna get these fish fired up and you will find some afternoon bass. Wind. No matter if that's first thing in the morning, middle of the day, or later afternoon, anytime there's wind, you wanna go chase it. Where this wind comes up against the bank or along a Thule point like we're on right now, it's gonna be moving all kinds of little algae, all kinds of little plankton, stuff like that, that the bait fish feed on. So anytime there's wind, all that plankton, algae bloom, that's gonna be moving along, and those bait fish, shad, all the little bait fish in the lake are gonna be up feeding on that stuff, and the bass know that because as that bait fish is feeding up, those bass have an ambush point, they're gonna come up and feed it. So anytime you've got these windy banks and stuff, you wanna go right up to it and fish along it. Low light conditions. You guys, first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening, as that sun's coming up or going down, it casts long shadows. As it goes down behind the hills or any kind of mountains that you have, it's really going to, it's gonna make that those long shadows and everything, it's gonna give these fish opportunities to feed. They love feeding in low light conditions because it gives them an advantage. So what I'd like to do is first thing in the morning, I get on the water and I'm gonna chase those cliffs that are, the sun's coming up right behind, because those are gonna have the shade the longest, and I'm gonna work those as fast as I can. The fish are feeding that time of the day, so you don't have to really slow it down and really work it methodically. You can make long casts, burn that, really be on your trolling motor, covering a lot of water, finding the productive areas. There we go. Oh, wow. Wow, there we go. Ooh. This one's stout. This one's stout. There we go. Atta girl. All right, guys. When it comes to, you know, using these square bills, I like to keep it simple, and starting with this Xcite Baits XB Silent version, great for targeting these heavily pressured waters that you know, are pretty much all over the country, man. With fishing growing as a sport, you want to be able to get any advantage you can. But then keying in on the three situations I talked about, you know, those low light, so first thing, and then later in the evening, then in the late, you know, then when the sun comes up, things get hot, you want to focus in on those hard shade lines. And then lastly, chasing any kind of wind. If you have that wind, you're going to want to be able to use that to your advantage. Then changing the retrieve. Always be changing that retrieve up, making little adjustments, figuring out what the fish want, and you're going to have success. Guys, I'm Travis Moran with Lucky Tackle Box. If you enjoyed the video, throw me that thumbs up, put that thumbs up. That's how I get graded on these videos. And then tell me about how you like this lure. Leave the comment below. Any questions you have, I always read and respond to all those to make sure you guys are having the most success you can out on the water. And if you are somehow not subscribed to Lucky Tackle Box YouTube channel yet, hit the subscribe button as well so you can get updates anytime we load new videos. I will catch you guys out on the water.